Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Raffingers webinar. I hope you have a cup of tea or a coffee ready with you to keep yourself awake. These afternoon webinars are a bit tacky, to say. I'm assuming quite a few of you are watching this working from home. Um, as you can see, I'm in the office. I live only about a mile away from where I work. So I'm one of the lucky ones. I didn't use the public transport. I've walked here. The good thing about me being in the office is I'm not going to say to you, apologize if the doorbell goes or the door barks. So that out of the way. Um, Let me get on with some housekeeping. Please click on the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen if you've got any questions. And Ashley, our marketing manager, will be holding a Q&A after the webinar finishes. As you can see, the screenshot there of how to do this is done by Paul. He was getting fed up of the furlough claim webinars we were doing, so I think he was getting a bit annoyed with that, with the furlough, the amount of changes we have to do. Just a quick brief on what we do, Raffingers. That's a very bold statement to make by us, offering you the best damn business accounting advice in the game. That's very bold. What do we do? I'm just gonna, because this is a charity specific webinar, I'm not gonna go into too much details into this. The only thing that if you're a charity, you probably want to be interested in cash flow management. Cash is king. You need to know how much money you have to spend in the coming years ahead, or 12 months, next 12 months. So cash flow is key. If you do want help with that, I'm happy to help you, happy to help our clients and you as well. A little bit of background about myself here. As you can see on the screen, I've been a partner for quite a bit of time. That picture was taken probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm aged a bit since then. What's on the screen is going to little bit extra on what I do. I also look after and very much involved with the firm's plans, introduction, and implementation of technology. So whatever we do in the firm, I'm actually part of it as well. We employ about 80 odd people here, and we rely very much on technology to keep us up to date, and also, keep us ahead of the competition. In addition to that, I'm actually part of a small charity that I look after. We work overseas in education and special needs. So whatever I'm going to talk to you here about is, things that I've personally gone through and experienced. So what's the topics today? Lack of funding. These are the main topics I'm going to go through today. Lack of funding for investment in technology. Lack of skills within the organization, unwillingness to change the culture of the organization, past experience and lack of confidence with digital platforms, unsure of what steps to take. And finally, I'm going through some tech you can try to take you to the next level on a kind of a slowish pace. There are approximately about 166,000 charities registered as of end of 2020. I just had a quick look at the stats just now, about half an hour ago. I think it's gone slightly up to 169,000 registered charities in UK. Out of those 166,000 registered charities, about 136,000 charities are either a small or micro charities, which kind of represent large, it's 82% of the charities, of the total charities registered are either a small or a micro charity. Charities employ about 800,000 people. These are paid employees. A lot of people like you and me, or a lot of people like me work voluntarily. There's thousands of them, giving their expertise free of charge to charities. That 800,000 doesn't include any of that. There are some hidden benefits of COVID-19. If you haven't had the misfortune of a close family member or friend affected by it, COVID actually has allowed us to work from home. You know, everybody's realized, companies, including charities, have realized that we don't need a large office space to work anymore. We can work from home in small spaces, which is a good thing for charities. If you're paying a rent, for a large office space, this is something you want to look at. So that's a plus point of COVID. One thing I didn't say to you is if the phone rings, apologize. Well, that's the problem with working from office. The phone rings, I can't. I have to turn the phone off. Sorry. Funding for tech. So raising funds for implementing technology within a charity is a huge task. Lloyds Bank released a report. I think it was called Transformation for Tech 2020. If you Google it, you will see it talks about transforming tech and bringing them into the sectors, how you implement it. I think there were some examples there as well. The report is fairly easy on easy on the eye. It's got a lot of graphical explanation as well. So have a look at that. It's called, I think it's Lloyds Bank Transformation with Tech 2020 report, I think it's called. The main reason, I hear smaller and micro charities is not investing in technology is that we are small, we don't have the funds, we're really small. Remember, investing in technology is a marathon, it's not a sprint, although that's how, most of you would have felt at the beginning of the pandemic, it was like a spirit, it was like a sprint. Prime Minister came on the TV and said, we're shutting down on the 23rd of March, I think, if I remember correctly. It wasn't a marathon, it was a sprint. So you have to quickly gather yourself up, see how you can work from home. You did that. If you've done it, brilliant. Investing in technology is not just investing in technology is the problem. The money is a problem these days, especially with the pandemic. Raising funds is going to be a huge problem for charities. If you get grants, then there is. If you get grants and it's on the pipeline, then it's fine. But if you're relying on donations and activity, some sort of activity, then it is going to be a big problem. I took a call yesterday from a charity that does faith-based tours. They take people to visit these religious sites, and my personal opinion, I am not into religion. But God is not going to help you, that charity. The God is not going to help that charity to bring money. It doesn't work. There is no door for you to knock on the door and say, look, I got to keep doing this. And there's nobody to help. So what they have done is they completely, the income stream they had was people paying to go and visit these faith religious places, and it's gone. So the income is gone completely. What are they doing? They're looking at funding in various ways, like a bounce back loan to keep them afloat. So that is an issue. When you have an issue like that, you're not going to think about investing in technology. Nobody's going to think about that. So that's the problem. So when you have financial problem, you're going to think, okay, am I going to spend good money at the front end where it's needed, or at the back end where the technology comes into place? Most of the time, technology is always, deemed as not necessary. It's always at the back end of everything. So that's the key thing you have to think about. When you're looking into future plans and how you're going to invest in technology, whether you want to spend the money that you have now at the front end or at the back end. There are organizations and places where you can get some funding for investing in technology. I believe National Lottery does some help, gives out help buying, PCs and various things. So it is worth applying for their grant. They are pretty good at this. I've had charities that I deal with get money from National Lottery. There was a not-for-profit organization or setup that was set up. I think it was called IT for Charity. Visit their website. They do some good stuff, helping people, connecting charities with people who are doing, I wouldn't say free, who are helping companies that were helping charities to set up technology, get into the tech ladder. Charity Excellence is another organization that helps. It's called Charity Excellence Framework. I think if you visit their website, there's lots of information there. You might find it useful that it will help you to get on the technology ladder. Excuse me. One of the things we come across is charities have not enough skills within themselves. The big issue I come across wherever the charities that I deal with is charity trustees don't have the skills. They tend to look after the charity, the sector that they are doing, whatever the charity they are, and they specialize in that alone. They don't have the wide-ranging expertise, skills to look at technology, and even HR is another problem as well. Charities face. One thing you should ask yourself is, should you actively recruit trustees with wide-ranging skill sets, to help you? You have to decide, think about your long run, how you're going to do things. When you recruit it, should one of these skills be technology is one of them that you need to look at. The chances are, if you start looking for trustees, the younger trustees, they'll be more comfortable with technology, and they should embrace technology. The younger ones tends to be. So it should be a little bit better for you whenever you recruit trustees going forward. Things that they should buy into investing in technology. As long as you got the money, the first slide I did, then it should be fairly easy to buy into that's lack of skill sets was an issue. If you asked me 5-10 years ago, that was a major issue. But I think the lack of skill set is getting better. Whenever I go to a trustees meeting, I always see some new faces, and they're all younger faces, and they tend to be more into technology. They're used to the Apple phones and stuff. So yeah. If you're on social media, this might be a time for you to put out, we are looking for trustees with technology in mind. You might get volunteers coming and joining you. Unwillingness to change the culture. What are we going to do? You have to think about change. Change is coming, whether you like it or not. Take for example GDPR. Nobody liked it. What happened? You have to make the change, and you made some difficult decisions to plan for GDPR data protection that came in 2018, I think 25th May 2018. Yeah. You can't say I don't want to change. You need to think differently. Everything we do these days, you have to think differently. So think in the same way. You would have heard these other people say as well. Think in the same way. It's not acceptable anymore. You have to think differently if you want to survive. Especially in this kind of conditions that we are in. Lack of confidence with going digital. People is technology and evil. In the Lloyds Bank report I mentioned earlier on, Lloyds Bank UK Business Digital Index report, it says there's 100,000 charities lacked basic digital skills. So if you recall, there was 136,000 small and micro entities. Out of that 100,000 charities lack basic digital skills. So that's like 75% of the charities, or the smaller charities, lack basic skills. So this is some of the things that you need. Also, please, if you can, talk to people. If you've got some experts that you meet, have a chat with them. Look, this is what the issue we have. What can we do? As I said, is the old British telecom adage, it's good to talk. One thing that should really, really, really worry you is fear of being left behind. Again, slide before, I mentioned that you will be left behind. There'll be charities who will do exactly what you're doing. If you're on a very specialist charity, then you don't have a problem. But if you're on a charity that there are a few other people doing, you'll be left behind. So that's a fear of left behind. At least should alleviate the problem of lack of confidence in going digital. One should work against the other. We are in 2021. We can't just still think about 1990 or the 80s. Unsure of the steps to take. What I suggest and the advice I give is list. First of all, you need to sit down and list all the systems and processes that you have. Just have what do you do? Make a list of all the systems, everything from paying into a bank to receiving money, or issuing a donation thank you note, all that. Put them all, list all the things that you do. Then see how technology can help you with that. That's what I advise people to do. Even in our practice, when we have problems doing certain things, what do? We just list what are the processes, and then we break the processes down. What do we do? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. That's what we do. That's what you have to do as well. Regardless of whether you're whether your charity is only 1 person, 2 people, or 5 people, the process is the same. The difference is 1 person doing a job. Some larger charities will be 3 of them doing it. 1 person will be issuing the thank you note for donation. The other person will be doing the banking side of it. The other person. So the bigger the charity, the duties are segregated, but the process is still the same. You also need to talk to people that who have experience in this. For example, as accountants, us very good people, because we deal with a lot of charities, so we can help you. There is no such thing called a one fit for all. There is nothing called, different charities work differently. Even in our industry, different people, different firms work differently. All the industries are the same. You're going to have the different people have got different skill sets and different methods of working. So no two charities are going to be same. Tech. So that's the introduction of things. I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail about what you can do. These are things that's not going to cost you a lot. So these are fairly easy to implement and stuff that you can do without spending too much money. One of them is Microsoft Office, MS Office 365. I'm going to go between these 2 slides. Right, Microsoft Office have got a offer for charities where you, if you're a registered charity, then you can get the free package. I think it's called the Business Basic, and then they have the Business Standard and the Business Premium. And my next slide will show you it's in dollars. I think if you convert that into pound, because I've got charities using it, I think it's works out to be about £3.80 for the top of the range one. Now, so that's one of the things. I'll go in a little bit more detail on my next slide. Google got the same thing as well. Again, I'll explain to you a little bit more when I get to that. Do you know that Google actually register domains, and you can actually ask them to keep your domain name and the registration, and they give you some really good offers as well. Dell is another one. Again, I'll go into a little bit more detail how you work with Dell and what discounts you can get with them. So these are like 4 things that you can get without spending too much money. If you remember the first one, I said investing in technology, money is the key. This is where the 4 that you can get on the ladder of working with it. I am sure with the pandemic and the way things have worked out, a lot of you are on Microsoft 365. If you haven't, don't know where you've been, you might as well jump on it quickly. Going to the first of the 4 things I mentioned there in the previous slide. As I said, Microsoft Office 365 Basic. I think they give it up to 300 users. It's free, and you get with it, you get the Exchange email server, plus online and OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams. These are things that you might think, yeah, it's free, but I need something else as well to on top of it, which you are used to. So you go to the next one, which is the Microsoft Business Standard. Now that one's got pretty much everything that you need. Like it's got the Excel, Word, Outlook, everything you need, and it's also got some PowerPoint as well for you. And that is £3. I think it's $3, and if you convert that into pounds, about $2.50 or something. I have got Charities who are registered to have that. And then the top of the range one is the 365 Business Premium, which is what our firm have got as well. That they throw in pretty much everything you need. If you need more than that, you're way above even us actually. So everything you need is packaged in there. It's a good deal. £3.80 a month. If you got 5 people working, that's not much of a muchness basically. So just remember this, with these, the system, the way the Microsoft set this up, you have no disaster recovery issues here, there is no, in the old days, you had a server in the office where, if the server goes, your emails, you don't get emails, nothing. So things have moved on. So there is no need for a server in the office to hold the data. The two people that I subscribe to on YouTube and watch, these two are brilliant. You need to. But by the way, before I go into this, neither of them have paid me for this, so this is my personal opinion, and I watch these guys a lot. Kevin at the top, he used to work for Microsoft, and his presentation, the way he does it, is only about 15-20 minutes, and you can understand what he talks in real, simple terms, and he talks about Excel, Outlook, Word, all of the Microsoft products. He used to work for the Microsoft, the development team, and when you see some of the Microsoft presentation, the Microsoft's own presentation, you might see his voice, but I think he's left now, and he's brilliant. One of the people that I like, and I've subscribed to it, and I love watching him because he explains everything in very detail. If you are an Excel geek and you want to know everything about Excel, this one is brilliant. My online training. I think if you watch all of the YouTube, all of the stuff, all of the videos on YouTube channel, you will become an Excel expert. It's brilliant. She does from basics to advanced dashboard, interactive dashboard, everything you can name, they do. It is really, really, really good. Subscribe to both of them. As I said earlier on, I'm not paid for this, but I do love watching them. With the Microsoft family, one of the things that you get is something called Power BI. I don't know how many of you have heard about Power BI, but it is a very brilliant, cool product. So what you can do with Power BI is you will see later on that one of the packages that we use here a lot is called Xero. It's an online accounting package. Again, it's in the cloud. You don't have to worry about a server sitting in the office and it turning itself off, or you're a power outage. No issue of disaster recovery here. So this Power BI and Xero together produces reports like the one you've seen on the screen. It is brilliant. If you connect them together, you can literally get the high-end management report the way you want it. If you subscribe to the top end of the Office 365, Power BI comes in free. It's part of the package. You need to do a little bit of tweaking to set it up. Once you set it up, you get this report. As long as your data in Xero is good, then the Power BI will produce reports like this. As you can see, I haven't gone all the way to show you everything, but it is a brilliant piece of kit. Instead of spending a lot of money on all these fancy management software that gives you all these reports, this is actually part of your 365. So if you go Xero and 365, the top one, the premium, it comes with it. You don't have to spend any money. Again, going back to the technology, investing in technology, which we spoke about earlier. It doesn't apply. It's part of the package that you got. Google, excuse me, Google, they have something called AG suite. I think it's for not-for-profit organizations. Anyway, as I said, mentioned earlier, they do domain registration. Add this together, it is good. Google is not widely used in Europe and UK, but they're massive in Australia and New Zealand. They're huge there. So it is something you need to look at. You don't have to spend any. I think Google offer the basic one starts free as well. So there is not much money to be spent, and you don't have to worry about investing too much money into technology. These are easy, easy wins for you to get in. The ones that I'm talking about. This is another easy win. It gives you Gmail, Docs, Calendar. Google Meet is the same as the Teams in Microsoft. So this is something you need to have a look at. All of this with Microsoft and Google, all they require is you need to be a registered UK charity. As long as you can prove to them that you can register a charity, I think they will ask you for your charity registration number, then you are good to go. You don't need to do anything more than that. Sometimes I have come across that Google have asked for to see if you're registered with HMRC as well. Dell is it's a hardware manufacturer. If you don't know who they are, they provide laptops and PCs. From basic ones to gaming machines, and something like for you, Charities, you need a small business technology, so you need a PC that can do the basic, day-to-day work for you. The slight difference with the Dell is there is a process. You have to be a member. Membership is required. I think you need to enroll, and then they will accept you or reject you. Again, Dell actually, I do know they ask you if you are a registered charity. Registered charity with the revenue, they ask you. These guys are very good. Charity Digital. I don't know whether, check out their website. I don't know whether you come across these people. They do some great work in helping charities with technology. We worked with them in the past, helped them. Subscribe to their newsletter. They do a lot of webinars, and you can actually get help with them. As you can see on the screen, it's saying they've helped 38,000 charities save money on their software purchase, and I think they do help with the purchase of software as well. As I said, we're going back to it. You've got 136,000 small charities, and these guys have helped 38,000. That's a very big percentage. Going to the accounting side of things, which is what I'm kind of very close to. Everybody, most of the accountancy packages are online these days. Xero, QuickBooks, both of them offer a discount for charities. I think they give Xero offers 25% discount for charities. I'm not sure about QuickBooks, but they do as well. These are no-brainers. You don't need to. Again, you don't need to worry about disaster recovery. If your PC goes down, it's all in the cloud. All you need is internet access, so you can get another PC. All you need is internet access, Internet Explorer. You're up and running. It doesn't take you long. So that's a very good thing. If you're not on any cloud-based accounting, I suggest that you jump on it, fairly quickly. And also working from home with this pandemic, it's another way. You don't have to spend too much time playing around with trying to dial into your PC at home and trying to access things. It's all online. All you need is internet access and a little PC, and up you go. Document management system. There are two that we use. One is called Receipt Bank, and the other one is HubDoc. HubDoc, we suggest that if you've got more than 20 invoices to put in a month, if it's more than 20 invoices a month, they're a bit slow. I would prefer you go to Receipt Bank. HubDoc is free. Receipt Bank is not free, but if you use it, to send your invoices to them, HubDoc, if it's more than 20 invoices, it's not the best. CRM within the firm we use HubSpot. Raffingers, the firm uses HubSpot. It's linked to Xero, and it is a good product. When you at the end of it, there's a Q&A. If you want to ask Ashley, you'll be answering. She uses HubSpot, so she will be able to answer any CRM question relating to that. When I finish here. Online donations, you still receiving, donations by check, and are you receiving them? You should be able to work. There are lots of websites and lots of not-for-profit organization offering online facility for people to donate for charities for not much cost. Again, apologize for that. That is one of the problems of working from. One of the problems of working in the office. I don't have the dog problem or the bell ringing, but it is a problem with the phone ringing. There are two products. I just want to have a quick dive into Infoodle. I think that's why it's pronounced Infoodle. So what that does is it works. If you've got gift aid claims to make, and you've got lots of gift aid claims to make, this is a very good product. It links to Xero, and also it does the submission for you with the HMRC. So if you've got a lot of donations where you're going to claim gift aid, it is a good product. But it is not something good for micro charities because it does cost you a bit of money. So if you're a large charity or medium-sized or large charity and you've got a lot of gift aid claims to make, this might be something that you want to look into. There's a product, this software, I think it's Pleo. I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing it correctly. So Pleo, it's a smart company automated credit card. It's coming to the market recently, and we started using them. So check them out as well. Right, what is your? Just to summarize what what I've been talking about. One of the things that you need to do is you've got to have a long-term strategy. If you have a long-term strategy, you need to find out where does technology fit in there. Try not to shoehorn technology in your long-term strategy to try and make it part of it. Shoehorn it and try and make it part. It doesn't work. Technology should sit nicely within your long-term strategy. Otherwise, as I said earlier, you'll get left behind. It's, for example, I give this as an example when I'm doing training, looking long term. If we're in East London here, we want to drive to Scotland. We don't jump in the car and start driving, do we? We look at the traffic. It's a 7-8 hour drive. Similar to Charities, you look at 5-6 years or 7 years ahead and see where you're going to be. There are going to be, a lot of youngsters who are going to come and work, employing Generation Z. They're going to come in and have a look and see you, writing down manual thank you letters and, manual donation cards. They're not going to like it. So, it's a 5-6 years plan. What do? It's a bit like driving a car to Scotland from, East London. You're going to get stuck in traffic. You need to plan for, traffic, food stops, general breaks. Same thing, you need to plan for, where you're going to go with your technology side of things. Are you going to sit where you are and carry on? It doesn't work. Can I carry on the way we are? No, I don't think. Not that I don't think it is not going to work for you. So you need a long-term strategy that needs to have technology as part of it. Don't try and shoehorn it. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for attending it. There will be, if you've got any questions, just fire away. I don't know whether I can see the questions. They are coming my way. But yeah, if you've got any questions, that's the end of it. And Ashley will be around to answer any questions for you, any questions that you ask.
Thanks, Suda. I just wanted to point out that Tom from Pleo has put a note in the chat, everyone, that there's a 30% discount available to you guys if you want to implement the software. And if you want to learn more about managing spend through Pleo, just drop him an email. His email address is in the chat. It's thomas@pleo.io.
Brilliant.
So thank you for that, Tom. And obviously just mention that you've come from the Raffingers Tech for Charities webinar. Suda, thank you so much for that. That was fantastic. Can you just clarify with regards to the kind of receipt bank document management apps that you recommended? Was there an additional cost for those?
No, that's the clever thing. Very good question, actually. That's a clever thing. You know, if you pay for the receipt bank, and Hubdog is free as part of the importing the documents onto Xero, you don't have to pay extra for the document management system. So you're actually using that as an aid to improve your system. Plus, you're using that as a document management system as well. So, you know, in 5 years down the line, or 5 years after, you know, 3-4 years down the line, somebody wants a copy of a I don't know, a British Telecom or some bill. It's on there online for you to access it, rather than you keeping files and folders of, you know, leverage files sitting and taking unnecessary space. So yeah, it is free, it's part of it. So you have to work cleverly and use it as a document management system. Yeah, it's free.
Perfect, thank you. And then with regards to the kind of Google, was it Google Suite or G Suite?
Yeah, Google G Suite. Yeah.
You mentioned the pricing plan for the Microsoft plan, which was really affordable for charities and non-profits. But do you know the pricing for G Suite?
Unfortunately, no. No, I should have looked into it. The funny thing is, you asked that question because the charity that I am part of, a small charity I'm part of, working abroad, that has got the Google Suite, the G Suite in there. I don't know how much we pay. I probably should have looked into it and got you guys a price for it. But yeah, I don't know how much it is. But it's something that if you contact Google, they will tell you. But if you want, I can get back and give you the price, because we must be paying something, and I have to speak to the guys who deal with the treasury guys who deal with it. But I can help with that. Yeah.
Perfect. And with all of these things, obviously you've got all these different apps out there now. How can somebody decide what one to go for first? Do you recommend starting with something like SharePoint and Xero and then kind of adding on from that? Or would you say, as you said earlier, listing all of your processes, all of your systems, and then deciding what you need to make more efficient from there?
Yeah, that is the key. You know, again, I go back to it. If you're on the ladder of technology and you install or you bought into Xero or QuickBooks Online, don't try and shoehorn a add-on because somebody came and told you it's a good one. Use it. It might not be suitable for you. As I said earlier, it won't fit. If it fits for one charity, it's not going to fit for you. You need to find out. So I as Ashley pointed out, and I pointed out, make a list of all your processes and list them, step 1, step 2, step 3. There are lots of apps that you can actually add on to Xero. So there's lots, or even QuickBooks or even Sage. There's a lot of apps going on. So the best thing is, again, I apologize for that. I should have turned it off. That's not the dog barking or the bell ringing. That is my phone ringing, my mobile phone ringing. There are lots of add-ons. First thing to do is make a list of all the processes and systems, then go dig into it detail, just follow the steps, what steps you take, and then from there onwards, decide which app you want to buy into. Just don't go with it because somebody told you, because you might waste your money. We found that hard way, even us, we got into something and we found out that doesn't work. We had to throw it out, start all over again. It happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess lastly, all I want to say to all of the listeners is just with regards to implementing new technology, we're always here. So Suda and the cloud team, we've got team members in the cloud team that specialize in helping you to choose the right apps for your business. So just really get in touch with us. As I said, we're always at the other end of the phone or an email. Thank you so much, Suda, for taking and hosting that webinar. There'll be more of these to come. We'll be doing a Tech for Charity series that will kind of be ongoing to help you guys, where we'll go really into the nitty-gritty of all areas from fundraising to cash flow management and the rest. So thank you. Thanks, Suda.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you.